podcast, and I'm on my way to Stanley's LA Comic Con, and I hope you enjoy this episode of the New York podcast with two-time guest Dicky Mayer. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's get into the podcast.
Introducing first, the challenger. Returning from Japan, Dicky Mayer. And new American champion, Dicky Mayer.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the New York podcast. And today I have a very special guest. It's the first two-time guest on the New York podcast, Dicky Mayer.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you again.
I know.
Part 2.
First two-time.
Yeah, first
Two-time doing the Orton champ. Okay.
So let's start it out here. So Dicky, how have you been?
I've been good. I've been busy. I haven't been in California for a while, but I'm trying to get back in the swing of things over here. Things are really good. How are you? How's the
I
podcast?
was doing great. We kind of took a short little break.
Okay, but that's
So
good.
This is our first in a couple weeks. So pretty pumped up.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So, you recently had a 1 hour Ironman match.
Yeah.
How did that go?
That was the best experience of my life. Because around this area, I find it difficult to get a lot of time for matches and stuff like that. So being able to go an hour, I mean, once the bell rings, it's like you're in there, and you gotta either, perform or you just drown. So it was really fun, and I want to do more. So it's an open challenge to anybody who wants to wrestle me for an hour. I'm your man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we got Dicky Mayer, 1 hour.
I'm the Iron Man.
Mm-hmm. Since we last spoke, you wrestled in Mexico and Japan.
Yes.
How did that come about?
I'm very fortunate. Everybody in wrestling, so many people, thousands of wrestlers, and they work so hard at this. I'm lucky to be just a victim of happenstance, and I met the right people who have been able to afford me opportunities I never imagined. I know somebody that used to do stuff with WCW, Durango Kid. He's been great to me, and he helped me get to Mexico City and wrestle on Ultimo Dragon's Dragon Mania, the anniversary show. So he helped me out a lot with that. So he's a good friend of mine, and they run a promotion, Lucha Wrestling Pure Wrestling. So I'm looking to make my return for them soon. I just have so much going on in the next couple months, but I miss all those boys, all the Inoki Dojo boys. So that was how I got into Mexico, and then Japan. One of my friends, Marty Elias, he was able, because he knows Taka and he knows Funaki, so he was able to put a good word in for me and kind of get me situated over there. So big thanks to Marty Elias, but also big thanks to Jesse Hernandez, because without Jesse Hernandez I wouldn't have met either of those guys. So I mean, it's just like a combination of getting lucky. I don't really believe in luck because I feel like I've worked hard, but at the same time, so many guys work hard, and sometimes you got nothing to show for all your hard work. So I just try to keep it moving, and even if I'm not the most popular at the time or something, then I'll go somewhere else, and hopefully it's a different story over there.
So you were in Japan for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
What was the hardest thing to get used to over there?
Just the fact that, you don't have that many people to talk to. I could talk to those guys. Some of them spoke English very well, but it was more of finding the words that they knew and being able to talk to them. Because, certain things they wouldn't understand, but if you said certain words, then they'd understand. I feel like I became a better communicator than I did learning Japanese. I feel like that's going to take a lot of hard work, and that's going to take me going there and really applying what I'm learning. And that is a goal of mine, to be able to understand characters and be able to like maybe read or Japanese. But I became a better communicator, I think, and I feel like I can get my point across if I need to. If we don't speak the same language, It's always interesting though. Like you just got to find where you guys can connect and then kind of just stay at that wavelength.
So, was training like harder or different there? So, how was the training?
The training was a lot of calisthenics, like a lot of squats, a lot of push-ups, a lot of running. It's very like basic training. Like they had their way of doing things, and it was like their own like routine, very structured, and it was cool. I still want to go out there and train more. It's just it was just different than how I've been trained. But it was more like a basic training. We were helping teach like the young boys, and they had 2 girls that were learning how to be wrestlers, so we'd help the young girls as well. But it was just I learned a lot when it came to like smaller, little finer details, like just different opinions from somewhere so far away that it's like. But the training was mostly a lot of calisthenics and a lot of like hard working out and stuff like that, rather than like learning backflips and all that. It was more very grounded, very fundamentals. It was good. It was great. Like I feel like I fixed a lot of things that I maybe didn't do so well, just because it's like that's what we were focusing on, is very smaller, finer details.
Who were some of your favorite opponents wrestling in Japan?
There was this guy Honda. He was the UWA World Middleweight Champion. I had like a little feud with him. He was one of my favorites to wrestle over there. I wrestled a guy named Dinosaur, and he was one of my favorite opponents out there. A guy named Takazawa. We had a pretty good match. There's a lot of good wrestlers out there. Like everybody over there in Japan like knows how to wrestle. If you're a wrestler, like you're good no matter what. That's just the way I look at it. The way that like maybe like they go through a lot of stuff to become a wrestler. It's a lot of heavy training, if that's fair to say. So. You know that they're tough sons of guns if they're wrestlers in Japan. So I mean, I got respect for everybody who's at Kaintai Dojo, but not only that, like every Japanese wrestler has my respect.
So how does a Japanese crowd and a U.S. crowd differ?
Okay, I feel like the American crowds that I've wrestled in front of. Some of them are anxious to cheer for somebody, or some people want to make noise, and they come to have fun, and that's fine, But in Japan, like everybody, the mentality like of the crowd there, I feel, is like they're watching, and they're not there to be a part of the show per se. And I'm not saying all American wrestling fans are there to like disrupt. I'm not saying that, or I'm not saying that they're trying to be a part of the show, but. Like you look at like PWG and like there's a lot of chants and stuff. There's a lot of chants, a lot of crowd interaction. But in Japan, it's so different. It's polar opposite because they're really watching. They're really like studying what you're doing, and you can get them to react, but they react. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like that. Those crowds like they'll know when they see it, and then So it might be something different every night that'll turn them on for your match, and it's just. For me, that was like the best part, is like finding out how to, adjust to those crowds. Like, and I was wrestling in a lot of the same places. We'd go to different places, but then bringing something different to the table every time, not be doing the same stuff. And it's difficult when it's a foreign crowd. But I think I did a good job. But I want to go back, of course, and I want to get better at wrestling. So
that's good. That's great. So you have a UK tour coming up. How excited are you for that?
I try to take this like one day at a time. So I try not to think about, because I have this match tonight with Andy Brown, and it's a big match for me. So I try to just take it match by match, so I don't maybe get in my head too much about this. But I am excited for the United Kingdom. Like I've always wanted to wrestle out there, and I'll be wrestling like every day for for like 11 days straight. So that's really cool. I'll actually be spending my birthday out there. So that's cool, right? So it's one of those things where I just want to do well over there, and I just want to come back in one piece, and maybe if I learn something, apply it over here, and bring something different to the table.
So you said you have a match tonight with Andy Brown.
Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, so we have